Hey everybody, it's your pal Jeff here from Onlia, back with another week of learning and lessons brought to you from our all hands meetings. For those of you who don't know or don't remember, Onlia is a learning company that creates transformation through learning for organizations. And since learning is part of our culture, what we do is every week in our all hands meeting, we ask people to bring some learning to the meeting and share it with us. Uh, and so I'm going to share what I brought to last week's meeting, and if anyone, if there's like four of you who've been following these videos for the last several weeks, you'll know that I didn't do a video last week, and there is a reason for that, and it wasn't because I was too busy. I was on Tuesday, my dog wouldn't stop barking, and so I wasn't able to get a video recorded. But the interesting thing is something happened on Tuesday night that sort of changed what I was going to share, and so I reflected on that last week and thought about sort of whether I wanted to share it or not, and so I decided I should. Because interestingly, one of the things I've noticed about LinkedIn is it's very much about successes and bluster and showing how much you know and all those things, which is great. Self promotion is important, but I thought maybe I should talk about a failure, and so last week I was going to do sort of a smug video about what a great culture we've created at Unlia and how people feel free to share parts of themselves that I've not seen people share in a workplace environment many times in my career. Uh, and I'm glad I didn't make that video because on Tuesday night I had an experience. I also teach a class at Red Deer Polytechnic in the film program, and I had an experience that taught me a little bit about vulnerability and trust and expectations, and so I'll quickly sort of talk about that. And essentially, what it is that uh, the smug video I was going to make was about vulnerability in our workplace and how if you create a safe space for people, they can do wonderful things and amazing things, and that means letting them be people as they are. Um, but that environment is built and cultivated and curated and maintained constantly, right? It's constant work. And you earn it. You earn the ability to let people be vulnerable. It's not just something that you show up and get. And the lesson for me was I was teaching this class, and the group is a cohort, so they've been together for almost 2 years at this point. So they have great rapport and they have good trust with one another, and so that means there's often sort of repartee and comebacks in the class and really good conversation. And we were doing an exercise that required them to show a little bit of vulnerability, and for the most part, they were doing fine. Uh, and, uh, and there were some students who were definitely scared to take that step outside their comfort zone, but with a little sort of nudging, they did, and it went great. One student in particular didn't react well to that, and when I pressed them on it, they basically shut down, and it really changed the feeling in the class and sort of changed the temperature in the room. And it sucked for me because I don't ever want to put someone in a position where they feel like they need to sort of shut down or go inside a shell. That's not good classroom management. It's not good management. So I felt bad about that. But the lesson for me was that while they have trust and vulnerability and all those things with each other, I've only known them for 2 months, and so I had none of that, and I was sort of getting the benefit of the doubt just by osmosis, just by being in the room with them. And when I pressed the issue, uh, I lost that credibility and that trust and that vulnerability, and so now I'm in a position where I have to earn that back, and that'll be tougher, right? And so. I guess hopefully I showed grace in the moment when it happened. Hopefully I didn't. I don't think I got defensive, but I hope they didn't perceive that. And we got the class back on track, and things sort of worked okay. But it was a really good lesson for me going back into my work week and just remembering that it's fluid. Vulnerability is our superpower. It allows us to achieve great things when we are willing to be open to looking dumb or getting hurt or feeling bad, and it presents an opportunity for great learning and great change, probably more so than any other superpower that we have as people. Vulnerability allows us to do that. Uh, but man, it can be taken away in a second. And so you have to cultivate it and take care of it and be aware of your position in a group dynamic was my lesson. So yeah, so that's what I learned this week, and that's what I brought to my team meeting to share that failure with my staff and my teammates, um, and hopefully do better next time. That's the goal. Next week I'll be back with hopefully a slightly lighter, maybe a factoid or something. But I appreciate you taking the time to listen to me tell you about a recent failure that I had, and hopefully you're able to learn from it, like I have. Until next week, have a great week, and thanks everyone.